Thanks to inflation, a video with over 20 million views claims today is worse than the Great Depression.
What I'm about to show you is not because I want to hurt people. It's not because I want to make you depressed. It's not because I want to make people sad or down on themselves. I'm only doing this because we need to bring awareness to this situation, because right now Americans are being gaslit into thinking we're just getting lazier and we're too entitled and we're expecting too much. The Great Depression is widely considered, at least where I went to school, as the worst economic time in American history. I want to show you the numbers on what the average income was during the Great Depression to now. Just for reference, the Great Depression is considered to be in this time period, 1929 to 1941. I looked at every single year and looked at what the worst year was. The worst year was 1930 economically for American households. So 1930, the average net yearly income of Americans, this is for one American, not a family, this is for one person, annually was $4,887. Well, let's look at how much money that is in today's money. I'm just gonna let this sit for a second. 1930, $4,881. I know I forgot it was a 7, whatever. 2023. This is for one person, not a family, one person. $88,000 a year in today's money.
I'll place that full TikTok at the end of this video. Earlier this year, I made 2 videos that covers the average salary in the United States for men and women ages 18 to 75. And I also plot or mapped the average salary in all 50 states. You can find links to both of those videos in the video description below. It's an intimidating time to exist on social media or in life, especially if you're below average. And what do I mean by average? Let's say you make less than $80,000 a year, you are under 5'10", or you weigh more than 200 pounds.
What do you think the average guy makes in the United States?
Maybe probably like 80K.
Wow.
400,000?
Average male, 70,000.
$37,000 a year.
You want his income to be? I feel like this is gonna sound bad. I feel like 300,000.
I would have to say 127.
Probably 150 to $250,000 a year.
$500,000? Is that bad?
150, maybe to 250,000 a year would be comfortable for sure.
I was just having this conversation with my friend, and she was like, you have to manifest a husband, girl. Ideally, my husband needs to be making like 650,000.
So you said you want 500K, but what do you think the median income is for a 30-year-old?
60K? 70K?
It is $45,000.
Oh my God, really?
Yeah.
I think it's 250,000.
It's 52,000.
What? No, it's not.
Now getting back to that Great Depression video, it is true that the IRS did report that the average income in 1933 was around $4,000. However, in that year, only about 1.7 million people filed income taxes. So just like in 1933 and in 2023, not everyone files income taxes. The Foundation for Economic Education did another study, and they found that during the Great Depression, the average annual income was actually closer to about $1,000. And then when you convert that into today's dollars, that's around $24,000. But hey, maybe none of that matters. Whether you believe we're in a silent depression, worse off than the Great Depression, inflation, whether you believe the $24,000 number or the $88,000 number, there is some merit that times are harder, things are more expensive. All you have to do is look outside. Life is expensive AF. Here's a breakdown from creator Freddie Smith that shows how much life has changed from 1980 to 2023.
Boomers like to remind us of their 14% interest rates in the 1980s compared to our 7.5 today, and we should stop whining. But the average home was $47,000 in 1980, where today it is $436,000 for the average home. Let's compare that to salary. The average salary in 1980 was $12,000. It is only $56,000 today. So housing went up times 10, but incomes only went up times 4.5. And then if you look at it compared to the average home, it is 4 times the salary for the average home, where today it's 8 times. This person can't even be qualified for this. But if the 1980s person didn't want to deal with the 14%, they had an option called renting. They could actually rent an apartment for $243, which was only 24% of their income. Today, the average rent is $2,000, which is 42% of the average American's income. So if the average American can't afford the average house, they are almost being forced to rent. And if they're forced to rent, they're forced to spend 40% of their income on housing. That is what's putting pressure on Americans today.
And now I want to hear from you. Is inflation causing a silent depression? Drop a comment below and thank you for subscribing. But until then, I guess us millennials gotta laugh to keep from crying.
I should get some sleep.
And as I promised in the beginning of this video, here's that full The Great Depression versus 2023 TikTok.
Just for reference, the Great Depression is considered to be in this time period, 1929 to 1941. I looked at every single year and looked at what the worst year was. The worst year was 1930 economically for American households. So 1930, the average net yearly income of Americans, this is for one American, not a family, this is for one person, annually was $4,887. Well, let's look at how much money that is in today's money. I'm just gonna let this sit for a second. 1930, $4,881. I know I forgot it was a 7, whatever. 2023. This is for one person, not a family, one person. $88,000 a year in today's money. That was their depression. If that's a depression, look at what we're doing. In 2019, and this was the average income for one American in the United States. Just in case you wanted to see the exact number, I went ahead and converted that over. I even rounded up to 32,000 and put it in for 2023 from 2019, and it's 38,000 a year for one American. We are in a Great Depression. I mean, I said in another video, we're in the worst economic time in American history. We have the lowest purchasing power we have ever had in American history. And they want to make it seem like I'm lying. This is the numbers. One more thing, because I don't want to end on a negative note. I want everyone to remember something. If you're working full time and you found a way to pay your bills, you're never hungry, you got clothes on your back, a car that you can drive, you deserve massive applause for that. And I don't care what anyone says. If you listen to this guy, what a baby, look at him getting in his feelings. I don't care. All of us collectively that have made things happen under these conditions to take care of ourselves. Some of us have kids, take care of our families, wives, brothers, sisters, anybody. Even just taking care of yourself. If you've managed to make that happen, you honestly, cheers to that.